Hello and welcome back to Open right here on BronxNet Channel 67. I'm Bharati Kemraj, and this is the one and only show dedicated to informing our community on local, national, and international perspectives on things happening in and around our community. Over the last 6 years, he has used this ability to rank on the first page of Google's natural search results to build up many successful businesses, bringing in millions of dollars in new sales. Along the way, he started one of the largest children's websites online, which received over 60 million unique visitors in 2009. And while we all know that the internet has the capability to reach consumers faster and in larger numbers than any other medium there is, always one question: where should a business begin? Here to tell us more and about one company that may be the key to your success as a business is founder of First Page Sage, Evan Balin. Evan, welcome to Open.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me here, Bharati.
No problem. I've been doing research myself, Googled your name.
Okay.
A lot of things came up, different websites, your businesses, your profile, and stuff that you've done. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got involved in all of this?
Well, this was about 7 years back. I had just graduated from college, and I decided that I was going to start a college consulting company. It could have been any company, but I had no business and I had no money to, to attract business with. So I thought, what can I do? Google seems like the best possible way to get new visitors to my website and to get new customers. So what I did is I started tinkering around, trying to learn Google's algorithm, and just through trial and error, about a year after I started trying to teach myself how to break Google's algorithm, I cracked the code, and I was suddenly able to rank at the top of Google's search results for any keyword for my website.
Cracking the code, what does that mean?
That means being able to show up at the very top of the natural results, not the paid results of the ads or anything.
So for example, if someone was to Google cereal, the best cereal or a certain name would pop up on the first page of your Google search.
That's right. So
okay.
If I could get, General Mills or, some mom and pop, small businesses, new cereal company to the top for the word cereal.
And from there, you went into?
From there, I started a couple of different businesses, and I sold a few businesses, but the one that I focused the most on is a site called Cartoon Doll Emporium, which I'm the CEO of currently, and is one of the largest kids' websites online. And
what is that all about?
It is about kids playing fashion-related games. So it's just really an entertainment site for kids, but our slogan is a safe haven for the imagination. So it's really meant to be a safe place for kids to come and play and utilize their imagination, where there's not going to be any meanness and the type of things that kids in the age range of about 6 to 12 are going to be exposed to, lots of identity issues at that age. So.
What kind of kicked that off? A guy? Doll Emporium?
Yeah, Doll Emporium. A lot of people ask me that. How did you get into that? I was just looking at hot searches on AOL, I believe it was.
Okay.
And I noticed that this was a rising search. People were searching for doll and dress-up game a lot, and I was like, what is this?
The light went off.
Exactly. And I thought, well, there's not many people in this space who are really professional. Who can start a real business around this. There was mostly just teenage hobbyists that had their doll collecting sites. So I said, let me try something out. And I tried many different businesses because I could always get to the top of Google. And this one worked out really well.
And right now you're focusing a lot on First Page Sage.
Yes.
Is that your new baby or something, or?
Well, they're both my baby. Both of them tap into my passion in different ways. One is really for entertaining people and working with kids, and the other is helping people out, helping people make money, and the sort of gratification that comes with that.
You talk about making money, especially here in the Bronx, for businesses who are now up and coming or already booming. They're looking for more ways to promote themselves and spending less money.
Yes.
That's the key, because of our economic pinch, we're all feeling it, but they're still trying to make the best. And from your website and from what I've read and seen and the feedback that your site has gotten, you guys provide quality services at a very reasonable price, as well as a guarantee that their business will be recognized or successful in one way or the other.
Right. It doesn't have to be extremely expensive if you have the sort of intellectual capital to attract lots of new customers. So essentially what we're doing is causing any business to show up at the top of the natural results of Google for whatever their keyword is. Cartoon Doll Emporium, it received 60 million visitors last year. As you mentioned, I never paid a dime for any of those visitors. No marketing, no advertising. It all came from me understanding what I needed to change about my website and other websites in order to get my website to rank. So what I do for First Page Stage is I just do that same thing, but for any business, be it a lawyer, a doctor, somebody that owns a car dealership, it doesn't matter what it is.
What are some of the tips, if you can share just a few, with getting your business on the first page?
The key to all of search engine optimization, or specifically Google optimization, is in links. Links are those blue underlined hypertext, everybody recognizes them, that are on other websites. And you need to attract many links from other websites to yours. So outgoing links don't matter as much. It's only when other websites point to you or your website. So that is the key. And it could be a family member. It could be somebody else that you work with that has their own website or blog. If you say, please link to my website, you get enough of those, then you're going to start showing up higher in searches.
So for the businesses in the Bronx, if they wanted to check out your website, they can just go. And is there any information or tips that you share on your site itself, or would they have to give you a call?
Usually I tell people to give me a call, and I'm pretty generous with my time. I'm obviously really busy doing a lot of things, but I really love kind of teaching people how to do well on their business for free, whether or not they work with me. I like to just point people in the right direction, because there's basic free information that's out there that can make a huge difference for your business, and I'm happy to just share that.
How important is it for businesses as well as individuals who are trying to promote themselves, whether they're up-and-coming artists or they're just volunteering their time to do community service, to take advantage of SEOs and social media, Twitter, Googling, Facebook, all these different networks? And what are some of your tips on using these sites?
Bharati, I would say it's essential at this point. We're no longer at a time when you don't have a website. You have a website or you're not a business. And it's becoming more and more that way with the social media page as well. So not only should you have a website, but you should have a presence on Facebook and probably Twitter as well. And if you have online videos, I also recommend YouTube. So some tips that I can give to Bronx business owners. One would be using Twitter to your advantage. Twitter has the simplest idea in the world behind it. There's lots of people saying what they're doing at any moment.
At every moment.
Well, I mean, every few seconds.
Someone else is making sure that they're updating or putting in something on Twitter.
Exactly. And what you can do is, let's say you're looking to attract new clients to your wedding invitation business, let's say. You can just type in, I'm getting married, right on the homepage of Twitter. And you're going to find probably hundreds of people that are announcing that they just got engaged or something like that. They're looking for wedding invitations. You know they are. You can just send what's known as an @ message, a quick little personal message to them, and say, hey, I'm available. That's what my company does. It's the simplest thing in the world. Not many people even utilize that, but you can find people instantly for your business. That's Twitter. And Google, I would recommend just getting as many links as possible. And Facebook, I recommend starting a group about whatever it is you're interested in. Make sure it's not too commercial sounding. If you own, a car dealership, maybe like Why I Love Cars or something like that, not Why I Love Car Dealerships. You want to make sure it's
getting
personal.
A little more personal.
Yeah.
Talking about getting a little more personal. Using all these sites, do you find yourself using them more than you have before? And do you enjoy what you're doing and helping others as well along the way?
I do. I never, honestly, I wasn't into Twitter that much because it just seemed this up-and-coming thing. The media was crazy about it. And I was like, do I really care about tweeting? But I have gotten a lot more into it because it connects me with a lot of people. In the same way that when I first got into Facebook, I realized I can contact people that I haven't spoken to in years. With Twitter, I can meet all kinds of interesting people, especially in the technology world, that I never would have met if I hadn't started tweeting. So I absolutely love it. It's changed my life in a really positive way and kept me more connected.
As founder of First Page Sage, helping a lot of people out, both online and offline, are businesses successful when doing both, or is one better than the other?
I think that you want to have an online presence no matter what. You can be a fully offline bricks and mortar business, but you want to have some sort of presence online. Obviously a website, like I just said, but you also want to have a presence on Google Local, which is of course Google's directory for local businesses. And the one tip that I would give viewers is that they should not only say the name of their business when they're writing the name of their business in the form that they fill out to be on Google Local. They should also put a keyword in there.
Okay.
So if you're a law firm, let's say you're a personal injury firm, you should write, you know, Balin and Balin Personal Injury Lawyers. So you have the words personal injury lawyer in there, and that makes it a lot more likely when someone types in Bronx personal injury lawyer that your firm is going to show up.
You know, for all of your clients that you have and you're seeing, and yourself teaching yourself a lot of these things that you have learned, what are some of the challenges that they're facing or that you see your clients facing? Especially with our economy, with, you know, family or friends just growing their business or themselves in our community.
Well, within the SEO realm, to kind of stick there, people have a lot of trouble figuring out what people are actually searching for, and that gets into a larger issue of really knowing who your customers are. So a lot of people will come to me and say, I don't know, what would people type in if they wanted to find my business? And there's a lot of, you know, I think common sense is a huge thing there. Just ask your friends, what would you type in? Because talking to people that are, you know, quote unquote professionals, you may get industry terms or, you know, things that may not make as much sense. You want that common sense, what the average person would type in if they wanted to find your business. And then there's also looking at your competitors. You can see which words that they sprinkle throughout their website and just capitalize on their efforts and the money they've spent in finding out how customers are finding their business. So that's what I recommend, and I think that's one of the biggest problems that people have when they come to me.
So what do you have planned for the upcoming years?
There's a lot I want to do. I you know, have a foundation that I'm starting to help kids who are involved in sort of creative, out-of-the-box projects, whether it be with a school or with a community. And I'm going to be starting up that foundation this year.
Okay.
And that's my way of kind of giving back for the success that I've had. And of course, working with kids is, you know, it's been my passion for a long time, and that's where I'd like to go in the future. But for now, I'm going to be working a lot more with First Page Sage and trying to break the code of any new social media site that may come along.
And for your viewers, of course, if you want to find out more about Evan or the different projects you're working on or different businesses that you have going on right now, they can always check out your website, firstpagesage.com, or they can also go to cartoondolemporium.com, or you can go on Google and just Google his name. Evan, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Bharati.
Don't be tempted to touch that dial because Open is coming right back after these short messages.